Good evening and welcome viewers to a Monday night at MATCHFIT Entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, that's right, Monday night. Back with Rainlight Racing in their LMU series and final round for season 12, actually, mind you, as well. Here at Rainlight Racing, final round on a new track, I think, to LMU as well. This is only recently released, so awesome to be here at round 10 in the final round for Rainlight Racing 2026 LMU series at Barcelona, ladies and gentlemen. Proudly sponsored and brought to you by Crossy 43, True to Life Racing, SIMRACING, and of course MATCHFIT Entertainment, bringing this coverage to you live tonight on Monday. I'm Davo, as always. Right by my side, J-Man.
Yeah, good evening, Davo. Good evening, viewers. Welcome back to Monday night. And yeah, as you mentioned, the last one here at Barcelona. What a great circuit and a good one to wrap this series up.
Absolutely.
Fantastic racetrack. Looking for some big results here. See, some of them are a formality from here on out. We will touch on the points throughout the evening. Bobby Clark done the business already. Could pretty much just treat this one as a exhibition round, so to speak. However, there's plenty to play for after the fact, so we will touch on that shortly. However, right at the moment, Davo, you and I both know how important this qualifying session is. And
it is. But although we are a little bit late tonight, as we just sort of got the hamsters up to speed, so, it is coming to a close. Only 40-odd seconds left to run. And as you can see on the new totem, is Matty Clark, top of the list. Costas Bakalos, Nathan Bewley, Isaac Ichikawa back in the car here tonight, which is awesome. PD, Pete Dawson, Steve Crossland, Joseph Marnie, Robbie Mitchell, Kenneth Worcester, and Mike Quick. Okay, Mike Quick. Interesting name. I actually don't even know whether Mike Quick is actually even in the field. It looks like a very short grid, J-Man, with Worcester rounding out the back end of that grid. And what a stunning looking car. We just got cameras on the Ken Worcester car, Wheels Inc. there, J-Man. Wow, doesn't that just punch you in the face? Amazing.
Great work. Does look pretty cool. As this one comes to a close, I just saw Ichikawa, Isaac, there with the magentas lighting up in Sector 2 and 3. Didn't quite get Sector 1. He's around about a tenth and a half away in Sector 1 this lap around. So he'd need a couple more big Sector 2, 3s to bridge the gap, which is around 3/10 of a second up there to Matty Clark. But I tell you what, he does look good. And come on with the ringer. If he's not on track, he's often in the comms box with us as Isaac. And if he's neither, he's like, where's Wally? He's somewhere in the world. He's very transient, is Mr. Chikawa. For good reasons.
Yes, definitely. With Isaac, his work takes him all across the world, multiple destinations throughout the week, obviously. One of the Qantas staff, so awesome to see Isaac actually on the track, J-Man. Not that we don't like him in the comms box, but yeah, good to see him out on track here tonight, because we know he loves his sim racing, J-Man. As they wrap up qualifying, I think that is pretty much everybody back in the pit lane. Or is it? No, it's not.
Still got Robbie Mitchell out there, and Matty Clark just went better again, 41 with a 0 that last lap through, so improved late in the piece. What has Robbie Mitchell got currently? P7. And that takes him up to P5, so good showing in there, tucked in behind Nathan Bewley. So, once again, good looking quality field there.
It is, J-Man.
No Hayden Pegg and Perkins and Hayden Crofton that I can see tonight, so fair few absentees out there for the final one. So some guys maybe opting not to reach for the wallet for the final round. No such luck for these boys. We're there no matter what. So,
We
hey,
are.
good showing.
We are, J-Man. Yeah, short field, but looking, well, just looking at that, it looks like a pretty competitive field at that. Actually, there's one omission there, which actually surprises me, is Gunther Rowe there. J-Man, can't see him on that list for some reason either, so not sure what's going on there. But look, who is here? Who is here is Sim Blacks, obviously on board once again with Rainlight Racing in 2026, with always dishing out some awesome prizes, and their major giveaway for season 12 is, you can see it right there, a stunning set of Sim Magic P500 pedals, or a voucher of equivalent value for one of the competitors that has been amongst it throughout the series. There is some minor T's and C's that obviously go with that to be able to win that prize. But yeah, awesome set of pedals, and always great to have Sim Blacks on board. The good people over there, Stefan and the crew, always very generous people. Just a reminder, hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you're new to our channel. We stream 4 nights a week. As you can see there, just on that graphic, plenty going on, a little bit of iRacing, some LMU, and obviously old school ACC. So don't forget to tune in and hit the subscribe button. On just right there, it's right in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit your notifications so you don't miss anything yet. Throughout the week, Get a Sim Prize is the next announcement, and get a load of that. Get your phones out. Definitely get your phones out for this, ladies and gentlemen, because what you see in that picture right there, you could win just by getting your phone out, scanning that QR code there, and signing up. And look, we've got to thank GAMAFLARE for coming on board with that. It's a GAMAFLARE MATCHFIT Entertainment venture. Obviously, Sim Blacks and Moz are involved. I think Supercars NZ amongst it. But the only way you can get that QR code is if you watch our stream, ladies and gentlemen. So exclusive to obviously MATCHFIT Entertainment and the like. But yeah, good guys. Obviously, GAMAFLARE with support from Mozza and Sim Blacks bring that to you. So get your phones out, quickly scan that little QR code on the left-hand side, right next door to the GAMAFLARE Simple J-Man. I think we're getting cars on grid, so Davo's got to stop banging on about what we're giving away. I mean, that's worth banging on for, but yes, we've got to get some vision on the track here right now, because the grid is being populated as we speak, ladies and gentlemen, so buckle up. What have we got? 90 minutes, J-Man, here tonight at Barcelona.
Yeah, 90 good minutes to end this one off, and I just hope, I'm just going to cross the fingers, and a couple of positive thoughts for Isaac Ichikawa's internet connection here tonight. That he manages to maintain, and obviously a few issues with the latest updates, and that may have been the reason behind a few drivers, plus life often gets in the way as to why it's such a short field. However, do have some good runners out there, and I think this is going to be a fantastic night for Matty Clark to just clinch this title. Once again, he's always there or thereabouts, consummate performer in this LMU field. Ichikawa looking to go out on a high here for this one, and Costas Makrolos, Nathan Bewley, and once we do get a little bit of a look at the points at some point, that will come into fruition if we get time, because even though it's a short field, likelihood we're going to get engaged in some good battles around this 4.6 kilometre circuit.
I suspect so.
Is very much on the cards. So yeah, welcome back, buckle up, and I'll give the race start to the main man Davo here as we round the final corner.
you, J-Man. Yes, we are about to go green on the final round here. Season 12 LMU series. Who is that? Making a massive jump. Costas Makalos. He's actually slotted himself in between Matty Clark and Ichikawa not having a moment as they run down to T1 there. What a move. Matt Clark actually well back. It almost looks like, I think Ken Worcester having a crack as well. Good to see Nathan Bewley in that damn fine looking Lexus slotting into third position there. Robbie Mitchell, Pete Dawson. Yeah, Matt Clark just slid all the way back there. Poor start from Matty Clark there and having to fight.
Maybe a bit of a tent there for Clarkie. I think maybe Matty just wanting a little bit of a challenge here tonight. We saw how much pace he had on the field in qualifying, and just maybe wants to challenge himself here and just slot it back in the field. And he of all people knows how lonely it can be as far as a broadcast if you're that far out in front. Not guaranteed that was going to happen, but we've seen it before. Kudos to Matt for slotting in there at the moment behind Robbie Mitchell, and he can go to work, and we'll see if he can pick some of these guys off. Just see how much performance he has got on this thing, as he is tucked up and goes straight to the inside. Now it's Matty Clark.
Mitchell, So maybe just throws that theory that he was just sitting back there to get a little bit of competition, because he is on fire now and really applying the blowtorch to Mitchell immediately here at Barcelona. I love Barcelona, and I particularly like it when they run this version of it, J-Man. No awkward little chicane stuffed into the final corner there. And, we have got an unmolested Barcelona, that beautiful big sweeper onto the start-finish straight, and beautiful stuff there. And Matty Clark back past
almost opened the door for PD there. He just had a big look at Robbie Mitchell there, and he needs to be careful because Crossland very, very close behind, and Joseph Marnie in the mix as well. And like you said, you can't miss Wheels' car tonight. He is certainly up there on pedestal as far as the paintwork's concerned. So Macrolos with the early lead, Davo, and then a very tight battle between Ichikawa and Bewley already. And the numbers, obviously, we'll keep an eye on those numbers, the average via usage and overall, and see what that looks like. But
and we have all of this data on hand in a very clear view these days. Thank you to the good people over at LMU Broadcast, who have put together some really cool software for the likes of us who enjoy broadcasting LMU. So yeah, some awesome control panels and a lot of data, J-Man, that I don't think we really had previous. So, awesome stuff. And the fight continues.
Yeah, and it's a good little battle there. Ichikawa and Nathan Bewley.
That was
main straight Robbie Mitchell.
Mitchell was bugging out.
Okay, that's what
I think it's snuck past him there. So Mitchell clearly with some connection issues, and his car awkwardly spearing off track there. So PD actually lucky to just sort of sneak around that, because even though these guys are sort of bugging out and losing connection, quite often these cars are still a physical mass on the circuit that is collidable. So PD take a little bit of evasive action there. He'd want to keep an eye on his mirrors at the moment though, J-Man, with Steve Crossland. Number 43 car. He's all over
Crossland with the fastest lap of the race already. 44.1 by my calculation. Last lap through. Few times didn't show up, so that might indicate maybe a little bit of track infringement going on there. And once again, Crossy lights up the magenta in sector
Again,
1, personal best 2, and just looking at an alternate line there as he comes through Lacacia down there, the left-hander.
We will sneak back up to the podium, and Costas Makalos, after a great start, really did get the timing perfectly, didn't he, J-Man? With that green light out in front, slotted himself in between Matt Clark and Ichikawa and just hasn't looked back. Look back in the background, Bewley. Matt Clark definitely making a very hot recovery.
Yeah, Bewley really running the front of that Lexus incredibly low. I just watched the two of them there as they came up through into turn 1 and then out, and a lot of sparks from the front left part of the splitter from Bewley. And once again there, lots of sparks as they come out of Repsol. So, and not getting the same images from the front of the Aston of Matty Clark. So it just shows that Bewley trying to use as much front downforce as he can. I think the air get too much under the car. Oh, he got a nice line there as they come up through the switchback there at Worth. Did Bewley starting to put a lot of pressure on the back of Ichikawa now, and this is all playing into Macrolos's hands at the moment. He's just working just nicely. Got the fastest lap of the race now on a 43.1. Fresh air as we see Matty Clark's ability just to hold the car really tight on the apex there, just inside and just behind Nathan Bewley, looks really, really good. So I think Clarkie's just biding his time here and just going to let this one come to him. We know he's got a lot of car pace on board.
He does, without a doubt. J-Man.
Oh, no, yeah. Put your clock back for the winter.
Nearly caught us out too, to be honest. So.
Yeah. That and a lightning storm. So I will apologise in advance to yourself and maybe the viewers if I all of a sudden disappear.
No, yes, so it's like let's do a warning.
Weather event.
Let's do a warning.
I've already been disconnected once tonight through a weather event.
He has, ladies and gentlemen, like literally just before.
Oh, Clarkie with a nice inside line at Repsol there. It's going to leave him on the outside for the next one coming down the hill here. Yeah, so he was sizing him up. So Clarkie's definitely looking. You're okay, Sue. You're here for the action. Looked like Matt maybe opting just to roll out off the start and get amongst the pack. Wanted some camera time, I think, to
maybe
the number 2 car.
And look, and to be honest, he is actually getting it. As he gets up beside Bewley again, albeit on the outside at the end of that little short back straight there. Tricky little corner there. He's actually held Bewley wide there a little bit. Now remembering, this is the unmolested version of Barcelona, so no dodgy little chicane
look, if the
here.
chicane was there, if the chicane was there, he would have had a great opportunity.
Wouldn't he what?
The outside line for Bewley there really worked, and I like what I'm seeing here. These are two old foes that have been going at it on this platform for quite some time, so good to see them back out side by side. But however, Clarkie with the overlap now, so I think Matty will get this done down into 1 here.
Bewley yields.
So what have we got?
Clark.
What have we got? 1.7 seconds now. The difference between Ichikawa and Macrolos, and now Matty Clark can go to work on Ichikawa. Is in the background. I did see Steve Crossan really getting spirited up behind Pete Dawson there.
Absolutely. That and it gets right up beside PD there, albeit on the outside through the hairpin, and it sort of holds Pete a little bit tight through the kick there. Crossman.
This is just getting Marnie back into it as well, really, isn't it?
It is. Get a shot out of Marnie helmet cam here, and just let's have a look at what Joseph Marnie's having a look at here. Because, look, he can literally see all the way to Ichikawa there. I mean, obviously early. Early in the lap count here. But we could clearly see there from Marnie's car. Steve Crossland working hard at the wheel there. A little bit of a snaggy pinch of the rears there, it looked like, into the left-hander there at the end of the back straight. Lost a little bit of ground on PD. A little bit of a gap now.
Yeah. Matty Clark now really starting to work over the back of Ichikawa as he did before him, Nathan Bewley.
Okay, so just remembering, Matt Clark through on Bewley, T1 last lap. Look at the gap he's made already. Good 3 odd car lengths, maybe 4. And
fastest car in the race at the moment is still Macross, but trailed closely by Matty Clark, so both in the 42s now. Actually, good portion of the field in the 42s. We've got Crossland in the 42s, Marnie in the 42s as well. So the slow lap, last lap round, ooh, I couldn't see it, didn't come up. Must have been a cut lap from Ichikawa. I'm not sure where he's picking that up, why it's not picking the data on that lap though. But him and Joseph Marnie were the 2 cars that didn't record a previous lap time there, and I suspect that is maybe a little bit of infringements there. So just got to keep your eye on that. Don't want to have a drive through this early in the piece of what is scheduled for, what, 90 minutes, Davo?
Yes, 90 minutes, and obviously no compulsory pit stops, as we know, even in their short format racing, the cars just don't make the race distance, so they're forced to stop either way. But how they go about it, and the races are just long enough to actually get the strategy juices flowing with the boys there. Yeah. So we'll be interested to see how everything pans out.
Yeah, with the exception of Robbie Mitchell, Davo, I think for me, Bewley's the one that's making a little bit of energy here. Obviously, Robbie Mitchell with that incident with the net code a little bit earlier, showing 82% remaining, however, he's a lap down. So I think if he was to get on the lead lap, it would sort of level itself out. However, Bewley is about, it's nearly a percent, well, it is a percent. He's a percent maybe plus, maybe 1.2% up on the 2 guys racing in front of him. And if he can stay in touch with Matty Clark and Isaac, we know what it means. We know that they can make a little bit of time in the pit lane with a lesser stop time and more prevalent, I think, in these longer races. So just watch that space. Bewley, albeit Matty Clark passed him in the recent past. I think he's stacking some good numbers up. He is sitting at 3.0 on a 5-lap average versus Matty Clark's 3.1. Steve Crossland's the one that's burning up the gas. He's at 3.3%. So that thing is not efficient at the moment, the way he is driving.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that. Actually, PD back.
Yeah, behind Marnie now, as well as Crossland.
What's going on there? Let me see if we can pick up on what's going on there. Here we go. Here's the replay we were looking for. PD at this stage here, leading Steve Crossland. Oh, just a little bit of a snap oversteer there. He grabs it up, but Crossland and Marnie so close behind him there allows both the Aston of Crossland and Marnie in the Porsche to sneak on past that. Hey man, what's going on?
Sorry, mate,
what do you got?
You might have to go back to another one because Bewley just picked Matty Clark's pocket there at the start of the lap. Matty's going to fight it back now.
Let's get a look at this. And that was Clark attempting. Looked like Ichikawa was covering desperately right over near the pit wall there. Clark follows him out there, puts them both offline, but Clark suffering for that little offline excursion there. And losing a position to Bewley. Bewley nearly shut him down there. I don't even think there was overlap there. Bewley probably could have shut that door there, but out of it, just respectful driving again. Really good sparring partners, these two. And Bewley got a whole bunch to think about now, J-Man.
Well, he's through already, mate, as you come out from there.
Yep.
As quick as that, it's changed again, and Matty Clark attacking Ichikawa again. So this might be the flavour for the next 90 minutes. These boys trading.
Wow.
McIntosh won't complain about it as he sits 3.3 seconds ahead of this trio here that are trying to establish a little bit of pecking order early in the piece here.
Come on.
And actually, Macrolos last lap 3.1%. Okay, so they're all sitting around that 3.1% virtual energy usage.
Yes.
Still Crossland, still got the hungry Aston out there at 3.1, 3.2 for 5, and a 3.3 average overall. So, from the start of this race, Steve Crossland up 3, and we can see that as Matty Clark still looking to try and work over Ichikawa. Was that another replay?
Yeah, we're just picking up on the replay. It's just taking a while. A little bit buggy in the replay booth at the moment, and just trying to pick up on that replay where Clark took back Bewley there after that little exchange. And here we are back live, ladies and gentlemen. And
so
like
42.858 now, fastest step of the race is now held by Nathan Bewley.
And Clark,
as we see Matty Clark through.
Oh, is he?
Can he hold it?
Oh, still overlap with the Lamborghini of Ichikawa. Ichikawa's gonna have to yield.
Yeah, he's trying. So there you go.
There it is.
Through. Can he make any inroads into what is a 3.9? It's actually 4 seconds now live. A 4-second gap up the road to Macrolos there. And Macrolos just ran a 43.3 versus Clarkie's 43.6, obviously with a pass in there as well. So maybe we get an opportunity now for the first time with a little bit of fresh air to see what the number 2 car can do, racing out of second position. That in fact as well. So
yeah, so healthy lead there actually for Macrolos. He's just been able to just focus on what he's doing at the front here after a stunning start, and just let the boys fight it out amongst themselves. Matt Clark, like we have just been calling, has slowly worked his way through the lights. Yeah, very wide in the apex there. Worked his way through Nathan Bewley and Isaac Ichikawa to get that car back in to second position, and there you go.
Look how close they are behind Bewley as well, Dave. I'm talking Steve Cross and Joseph Marnie.
Oh, the field's tight still. I mean, apart from Mitchell, who had a little bit of an internet issue, he's possibly a lap down, I think. But back in the game. And Wheels is out of the game as well. I did notice that, J-Man. So.
Yeah. So we talked about 4 seconds. Matty Clark set a personal best through sector 1. Not as good by his standards. We saw that couple of missed apexes and a little bit of pressure from Isaac through the middle of the lap. Saw him not so good through the middle. But does finish on a personal best to change that margin now to 3.5 seconds. So even with those mistakes, he bridged it by basically a half a second. So 43.4 for Macrolos, 43.0 for Matty Clark. So still got plenty to play for here as we watch the energy now. Like I said, Nathan Bewley, 67% versus Matt Clark, and Isaac Ichikawa's 64%. Macrolos isn't doing a bad job out there as well, 65%. So leading the race, and obviously no pressure up to this point. As we see Ichikawa challenging.
Yeah, Clark wide again. I didn't think Ichikawa was close enough to have forced Matt to take, you know, like an evasive line or a differing line to what he normally would have. I just wonder whether Clark, and I think we saw it last week, J-Man, as well, struggling to get the Aston chipped into some of these corners. So Monza was tough for Clark. I'm just wondering whether, as this race goes on, has he got it?
Around.
Oh, that is Crossland around. Background there, ladies and gentlemen.
So sector 2 for Matty Clark this lap. Macrolos ran a 40.6 to Matty's 41.2, as I let you pick up on that replay, Davo.
Yeah, so Crossy there, unforced error in the Aston. Spins that car around, no contact, so undamaged, maybe just a little bit of pride, J-Man.
It just didn't look like it gave him any warning either. It just disconnected halfway through the loaded part of that corner. It just broke away. It wasn't like snap oversteer, it just disconnected in the rear, and Crossy became a passenger. A feeling he's probably all too familiar with it, not that happy about. I wonder what he's going to do as a driver, because we know he's full of talent, just to get that thing hooked up. Because when you look at the likes of Matty Clark's car, it just doesn't look like anything of the sort. If anything, Matt Clark's actually having some understeer, a little bit of push at times in the front of that Aston. We've seen him just wide of the apex. I don't know whether that's because he's pushing hard to close the margin up the road to Macrolos, or whether maybe he's just got that car set up a little bit softer in the rear for a little bit of stability, but it's just invoking a little bit of push.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of reasons why he could be doing it as well. I mean, one of them comes to mind, is that is he just overdriving the car a little bit and finding himself, you know, the car maybe tending to want to lock either front or rear, and just having to open the steering up a little bit, J-Man, to compensate for that. You know, obviously creating the late chip in there, or whether, like you said, just a bit of a softer rear suspension or some sort of sway bar setting, or even wing setting on the rear that can cause the push as well. So there are a couple of different scenarios there to think about. But
I had a talk to Matty a couple of weeks ago after, by his admission, wasn't his finest performance. Really struggled a couple of rounds back, and he sort of said he was having some issues around the correct numbers around the electronics on the ABS, and we all know what that means. If you incite too much of it, it actually increases the distance. And you know, he's a driver that likes to live on the very edge of the lap time. You know, he's very, very quick, and if it's a notch out as far as the setup or the electronics, it's going to certainly compromise his normal comfort zone. And I just wonder whether he's just struggling with a little bit of that tonight as well. And I sort of said maybe pull it back a little bit, you know, like head towards maybe the side of it wanting to lock as opposed to too much ABS. I'm not sure, but I mean, I certainly wouldn't tell a man how to drive, because he does it better than most. But it's pretty obvious on the nights when he's struggling. And just a couple of times now, that thing in the front's just looked a little bit, like I said, a bit pushy, a little bit of understeer. And he's a pretty smart operator. I'm sure he'll drive around it, as we see him now bridge the gap down 2.4 seconds. We talked about it before. He's just settled it down. He's got the fastest sector 1 out of the whole field now. He's got Magenta. Not so good through the middle again, so that's his strong suit at the moment, is sector 1, and then we'll see what he can deliver sector 3. So grabs another 14th as well, though, through the middle.
So Ichikawa, I mean, all the boys really there. I mean, those three, Clark, Ichikawa and Bewley, all very, very tidy through the first sector.
2.6 plays a 43.8. That's a big difference. Nathan Bewley also ran a 42.7, so he is on similar pace to Matt Clark at the moment. So just watch that space going forward, as maybe Ichikawa will get into that phase of the race where he's now not tagged on the back of Matty. He's more driving the mirror because Nathan Bewley's there, and Nathan's still running good numbers, 57% energy remaining versus 54 for Ichikawa. So couple of
Good
percent
numbers.
to the better. Yep, they are good numbers. 42.6 for Matty Clark. That was the fastest lap of the race. 42.679. So he's on a mission. He is now on a mission. PD and Joseph Marnie. What's the difference there? Okay, so there's a bit of an air gap there at the moment.
Yeah, and just looking at those best times, J-Man, I mean, the next closest guy is Nathan Bewley, and he's actually not that far behind that time. So these guys are definitely on similar pace at the
and
moment.
I think if Bewley can clear, if he can get through on Ichikawa and still make those numbers that we're looking at, you know, as far as the management of the VE, if he can still drive it to that number and only be, what is he, Nathan, is around about 2 seconds behind Matty Clark to my calculations, 2.2 seconds behind him. And we know that, you know, 3 or 4% virtual energy is definitely worth that. So could see himself post pit stops, maybe get a little bit of track position over Matt Clark. Obviously Matt Clark has got some serious raw pace on that car.
Well, I mean, look at the gains that he's making on Makalos. I'm not sure whether Makalos is doing himself any favours. Like, his last lap was particularly slow.
43.4.
Yeah, compared to Clark. And even slower than Ichikawa and Bewley behind Matt as well. So, yeah, not sure what's going on there. But
Can we get a little bit of wheel work from those two cars, Matty Clark and Costas, Davo? Is it opportunity just to...
We have had a little bit of wheel work out of Matt Clark's
Can
car
we see
so
what
far on the
Costas
chase.
is up to, how inputs?
Let's have a look at Costas right here, ladies and gentlemen. So good tidy stuff, very precise, and you don't need the data from us to see how close Matt Clark is at the moment, because you can see the rear view mirrors there.
Yeah, he's right there.
He's right there. He is right there. Just look at that in the mirror. Look at that. So, big trouble.
Yeah, both of them pretty direct with the turn in, and I just noticed with Costas there, you know, once he turns the car in, he holds the steering at the apex, and there's no real soaring of the wheel, so to speak. And that was very similar. I just flipped between the two, and both of them, the front of the cars look to be behaving, and the rear for that matter, not too much counter steer on the way out either, so that's pretty cool. But you can see it now, Matty Clark all over the back of Macrolos. That 4-second gap has evaporated, and you can just see, gives him a little bit of a kiss, and says, I'm going to come up the inside here on the way down to Repsol.
So, Macrolos having to wait what seemed like an eternity to get that thing to tip in. And look, hey man, you and I both know that corner well. We've driven this track several times, multiple times, like many times over the years. And very tricky to get it done there. And yes, oh wow, how tight, what skill from these boys. Amazing.
Yeah, just Matty there, just managing to pick the throttle up a little bit earlier than Macrolos as they come down towards Acacia here, the left-hand hairpin, and runs it deep in there again. Can he pull it up? The inside line will be favourable here.
He's got to make it live there, and he just can't. He's got to tuck back in.
And then this one here, with the absence of the chicane here, it's all Costas. He's just got to live on the high line here and just sweep it round, keep the momentum up. Same with the next corner. Matty will be looking for the drive here. Look for a good exit, pick up the throttle just a touch before your opposition. Look relatively even from here. The Lamborghini, pretty good in a straight line too, Davo.
Definitely no slouch there. Yeah, gets off that final corner. I mean, like I said, it looked like he waited an eternity, and it's this corner here, this right-hander here. They're going to tip it in. It's so loaded for so long in this corner, and so you really do need to get it done early and just get that tip in. And here we go.
Yeah, so Matt's got a couple of choices to make here, and the first one is obviously see if he can get past him and check off down the road, because there's a clear difference between energy here. Acrolos on 47% and Clarkey on 45%. So they're both the pit stop right now. It'd be a clear advantage to Costas Macrolos. So Matt's got a decision to make, and I guess plan B would be to sit in behind here and roll out the throttle early and just you know, roll up and make some energy into the corners, but it could be just a little bit too late for that. I know it is we've still got just under an hour left to run in this one, but you'd think a couple of percent already. And can he force him into using a little bit more energy here? Back a shot. Can still see Ichikawa and Nathan Bewley still very, very close, much like the front two as well.
Very much so, J-Man. It's almost like it's another mirror image, just two different coloured cars.
Barney's actually closed the gap on those two as well. So
well, he's definitely going with. He definitely hasn't lost anything for it, J-Man. And yeah, like I think you're right actually, because Barney, remembering, was behind PD and Crossland, who both had very small errors.
He was 9/10 of a second quicker than Isaac the last lap through then, was Joseph Marnie, and you can see the gap crushing now. Starting to race really starting to come to him.
Oh, here we go again. Here we go again, J-Man.
Outside this time, he'll give him rights for the inside of the next one if he can live there.
And he's got the overlap. Oh, here we go.
You go deep under brakes here.
Costas tried to squeeze him there a little bit. Oh, very skilled from both these boys. This is top racing. The trust between these two. Spent plenty of time on track together throughout multiple seasons here at Rainlight Racing. Very high racing IQs from both of these guys. Very skilled performers, and like I said, the trust to race that close, lap after lap, is amazing. Barney, Dawson and Crossland, and like we mentioned, Robbie Mitchell joining back in after an earlier little internet issue, so good to see him back on board and back into it. The Lamborghini gets a jump on Clark there through that final sector there, J-Man, and runs uninterrupted or unchallenged down to one for the first time, I think, in the last 3 or 4 laps, to be honest.
But noticeable big lift early on the front straight from Matt Clark to make a little bit of energy too, mate. Just,
okay, there you go. So J-Man very much monitoring Matt Clark's throttle inputs there, and rightly so, because this is a part of what these guys will be racing each other in the pit lane, and that's what it's all about here. Ichikawa, Nathan Bewley, inseparable.
Yeah, I do like the look of Matty Clark's car down through the change of direction at the bottom of the hill there, Davo, down at Worth. It just looks really compliant. Uri's Lexus looks very good down there as well. Seems to make a little bit of inroads into Isaac down there as well. So good signs.
Absolutely. Absolutely, J-Man. We are, we're over half an hour into this race already, this 90-minute race. We've got 55 odd minutes yet to run, and even with a short field of cars, the action has been aplenty and continues to be so. And we are already theorising about pit stops here, J-Man. I mean, between, I suppose, Costas Matty Clark and Ichikawa and Bewley, J-Man, what are their energies looking like? They look vastly different to me on my screen.
Nathan Bewley's the pick here. He's at 40%. Obviously, Joseph Marnie doing a great job of 39%. So, yeah, those two there going to apply a fair bit of pressure, I think, to Ichikawa. I don't know about Clark. Clark now with another look here.
Yeah, big look.
Pressure. Oh, Macrolos.
Up that little short. Well, it's not really short. That uphill straight they do after turn 1, 2, 3. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, and it is very much a passing opportunity at the top of the hill there, isn't it, J-Man? I mean, we see it all the time. And if they, it's a very long, sweeping sort of hairpin right-hander. And if they can make it live out there, and we saw it only a couple of laps ago with Matt Clark and Macrolos here, if they can keep it with overlap, it carries on. That fight carries into the left-hander, the next tightest, very much tighter hairpin there. Oh, it's crazy. It's a great track. It's very flowy. Yeah, once you get in the rhythm.
Matty Clark is making some energy here, mate. He has closed the margin on the percentages, and
so he's keeping the close contact, but he's off the throttle, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's definitely. There's a couple of spots I see him short shifting. Be interested to see whether he goes for the pass here or whether he rolls out. He pulls out the draft, so he's still thinking of going through. Both of them big under brakes down here. Cam Macrolos, he does a beautiful job of coming, swinging and making the apex there.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear the intensity out of Clark's driving, and I really do think that that Lamborghini does not like turn 3, J-Man. It just doesn't like chipping into there.
Matty, just
here we go, and
racially just didn't shut that down, and I think he probably could have almost come across there.
And then we got left-hand kink, left-hand corner here, so he's gone. He just if he doesn't get it done before the hairpin, he just doesn't get it done.
Yeah.
Lamborghini, most definitely. Yes, it is. In the chat box, it is very rapid in a straight line here. Look at Mark, J-Man. He has got even closer.
So was Croston. He's just plugged his way through here after that spin down there at Campsa, and he's got right on the back of PD now.
Yeah.
And
no!
Sorry, Crossy.
Oh, live there, ladies and gentlemen. No need for a replay.
No. I feel bad.
Well,
He just did a whole lot of work to get there, and
blame that one on J-Man.
Yeah.
It's usually me, bro. Okay. Take it along for the team.
But yeah, a couple of spots here for me for Matty Clark.
Here we go.
We didn't short shift. We come up out of here. We come up here out of 3 now, and then you watch him up here, and you watch the way that he will come in here, and he's a little bit wide that time, but he was short shifting on the way out of the here. He didn't do it last lap because he was trying to put a pass on, but he was short shifting out of there, and I just wondered if that was part of the program, just saving a bit of energy as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, and I think
Ichikawa to the pits. Sorry, mate.
His attack method, I think, is different depending on how close he is behind Costas' car at the time here. So yes, Isaac Ichikawa rolling into the pit.
And he's copped a stop go. 28.2 seconds on the jacks gives him a 55.8 overall, and copped the stop go for his troubles.
No. That is terrible news.
Yeah, speed in the lane that was the first evidence there for me with Matty Clark of a little bit of oversteer there.
Oh, that is unfortunate, J-Man. Ichikawa doing well. It's literally been holding Bewley at bay the whole race. Over half an hour now, nearly 40 minutes. That was a high-intensity battle here. Very similar to what we're seeing here. Obviously, all four cars were in not that far apart, and both, we can see Bewley in the background there. The only thing that's changed is Ichikawa rolling into the pits, or speeding into the pits, should I say. So again, Clark puts the move on.
Good drive traction there out of 3. And look at that, Costas covering to the inside.
He definitely covered more than he had been the past few laps, at least we're watching here. And is that force? Has Matty forced that cover? And here we go. And there it is. That's what put it together. Forcing Costas. Oh, can he get it done? No, he's not going to get it done. Oh, no.
Costas making Matt Clark work for this one. He's got great drive once again, though. Does he fake to the inside? No, he goes to the outside. Pretty much know it's a long way around there. It's hard to make that happen. So he looks for the switchback again. Great battle going on the final round here with the championship elect, the champion elect. He's done enough already with 101 points leading into this. And I tell you what, he's going out with an absolute awesome performance here with Costas. And don't forget about Nathan Bewley. He is tucked in behind shot. He is around 3.5 seconds off the lead of this race. But for me, the important one is 29% plays Matty Clark's 24 and Matt Colossus 26%. So he is going to buy himself some track meters. I don't know if about position, but certainly meters at this point. 3.5 seconds. I'm going to say he's very much on par. If they were to stop now, he would very much... Well, I think right now he'd probably come out just in front. But as the thing progresses, as we see another big move from Matty Clark down the inside. It was the outside, sorry. And Matt Colossus covers again. So does he set it up? Does he try and turn down underneath him again? Yes, he does. Costas with much better drive that time.
I was just analysing that last little exchange they had through these very same corners on the previous lap there. And although Matt literally had the nose in front of the Aston Martin, I felt that Macalos just held him inside through that little left-hand kink, through the kink, and then into the next left-hander, which caused...
move all the way around the outside.
Caused Clark...
Oh, and he's going to live there. He is going to live there. He worked on that.
Again. You can see it here again. Macalos holding him inside there, J-Man. Forcing that short line. So, anyway.
Costas, does he stay with him or does he go to pits? No, he stays with him. Oh, man, he worked for that. Gives it a wag. Gives the tail a wag. Flash of the lights from Macalos. They thoroughly enjoyed that part of the battle. Good stuff, boys. And Bewley, that takes him, brings him back up with that exchange now. We talked about 3.5 being the margin. It's now 2.4, still with the benefit of more energy. Davo, as I think Isaac Ichikawa has been in and made that stop, and that actually cost him an additional 9 seconds for the stop go and 35.6 seconds it took out of his race time. That's a big one to recover from, and it sees him the better part of 22 odd seconds, I believe, behind Joseph Marnie. Now Marnie is actually pit stopped as well. So Marnie, 36 on the jacks to give a 61.6 overall. We know that car was quite efficient as well, so he can see who was in front of him. Is that Robbie Mitchell? That's Robbie Mitchell, who's obviously a lap down, or was a lap down, no longer on those boys. no longer on Ichikawa. Very wide out of the final turn that time, Davo. Was Costas Bakralos using every bit of real estate?
Yeah, all the boys working hard here tonight.
Ooh, big snapper oversteer for Matty Clark there, coming out of Worth, heading down the hill that time. That was, yeah, maybe a sign as they head down into the teens on the energy remaining that that tyre is certainly feeling it here. And based on the times, Davo talked about those over half a minute on the jacks. I would suspect they're bolting a set of tyres on these things in this 90-minute race. Yeah, that's a good point. So he will literally be trying to bank his laps. However, Costas keeping him honest here with that little bit of a wriggle. Just allowed him to stay in touch at the moment. With around about 2.5 to 3% difference in energy, plays Costas back into this after the pit stops for sure. And then obviously Bewley, who is, what is he, 3.8 seconds off the lead of this race, and he is better again with the energy. So look for him to run, I think, an additional lap, or maybe 2 actually, on the likes of Matt. Matty very deep down there at Worth again. Squares the corner off, gives Costas an opportunity. Matt's going to have to cover here. Bit of snap oversteer there, Davo, from Matty Clark as he comes out onto the back straight out of Campsa.
Yeah, car doesn't look so settled. Sometimes, unlike Macalos's, which just looks solid as a rock, you know, pretty much all the time in all the corners. So, albeit maybe not as fast as what Clark is, the car does look good. So.
It's a bit of a jet down the front straight there. Look at the margin he just pulled in. Costas so good under brakes down at the apex too, Davo, and that's why Matt struggled so much to try and get through on him, because he was just so accurate at that last phase of the acceleration zone onto the brakes and then making the apex. Great car positioning too from Costas throughout that battle, and to try and defend from Matt, which should be no easy task with the pace that he's got on. Obviously fastest car out there on a 42.6. Last lap round 43.7. Didn't get a read on Costas's time. A slender margin of a half a second separates the two. And Nathan Bewley has had a mishap, because he is now behind Pete Dawson.
He's been in the pits.
And Oh, he's been in the pits. He
Yep.
has 75.7% energy remaining. So I'll get a read on what that looks like.
Yeah, we saw
Okay,
himself.
so good stop to 28.4, 54.8 versus the likes of Marnie's 36 seconds. So 28.4, that was because that car was super efficient and obviously only needed to put a lesser number in it, and still slightly more at this point than Marnie's as well. So 74.99%. So we'll see what that looks like once Matty Clark and Costas Makrolos stop. And what are they? 8% and 11%. So Matty's going to be one of the next in. Crossy will be the very next in because he's down to 5%. So he's got one more to go. Matty with a couple to go. And then obviously Makrolos can truck on for a bit here, as can Pete Dawson. Crossy actually made some ground back on Pete Dawson as well, Davo. Not the first time he's had to do this tonight, and I just feel a little wary about jumping the cameras on him and talking too much about him, because we know what happened last time.
Yeah, so PD's sort of found himself nicely there in third. Obviously, Ichikawa mistaking the pit lane, crossing with a couple of off-track excursions. Also PD was a little bit off-track as well. And Bewley rolling through for an official pit stop has put him in third provisionally. But we are going to see a quick flurry of pit stops any moment now. Could expect, well, at least Steve
Crossy being next. Yeah, Crossy being next. Matty, based on the numbers, I think, if I look at how close they are accurately, 5.5% he's burning. Last one was actually 2.7. His 5-lap average is 3.1. So yeah, this will be the last one for Matt, I think. Crossy, where is Crossy? He should be coming in. Yeah, here he is. Well down to speed before the control line too. Safely does it for Steve Crossan.
So looking good for PD, actually. Good healthy numbers on the energy, as does Costas Makrolos. So definitely two cars to watch. Oh, well, Costas has had plenty of airtime already this evening. Obviously in very competitive battle with Matty Clark at the moment. But yeah, Steve Costin in and out of the pit lane as we speak there, just wicking them up on the way out off the jacks.
Yeah, 33.6 versus Bewley's 28.4. We know that Bewley's car, one of the most efficient out there, his and Joseph Marnie's. Yeah, so Marnie gets Crossan as well as Crossy comes out of the pits. Where is it? Ichikawa, he had a stop go. He's actually coming around the final turn. So look for that battle to eventuate between the 30 car and the 43 before the end of this race. It is a reasonable margin at the moment. But so
we see Matt Clark
in the pits, yep.
Roll on in, ladies and gentlemen. They get their car on the jack. Well, if nothing else, load it full of fuel and energy. As we see Makros take the lead. He might have a couple of laps in this car yet, as might PD, Pete Dawson as well. So
well, I think Matty Clark just jumping off the jacks now, 30.8 versus 28.4. I reckon this could be a net gain here for Bewley. Where is he? Oh, no, he's coming down to the final turn. Matty Clark's trundling through pit lane, though. This is going to be tighter than Matty would have liked, I think.
I suspect Clark will be
As here
safe
comes
there,
Bewley
J-Man.
at full pace. Full pace on a tyre that's already cycled up to 10. And that has certainly crushed the margin now to Matty Clark. So it really does go to show that I think once Costas comes in, this is going to be tight. Is Robbie Mitchell now fastest lap of the race. Robbie with some pace, 42.634. Good on you, Robbie. Firing a hot lap there. Well done. Great signs too to see him stick this one out after a bit of a netcode issue, as we see Macrolos spear into the pit lane. See how aggressive he is here. Comes in 134k through the first. Right-hander down there, up to 170. Can he arrest it? Yes, he does.
Jeez,
that is aggressive. He knows what's at stake here. Maximum gains required out of this pit stop.
He could have got another lap there, eh?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he could have. And so could have PD. But PD in as well. And you will not see that aggression from Pete Dawson. I can just guarantee you that. But there you go.
Purely through. Yeah.
Really through on Clark.
Yep.
Let's just see how the replay, whether it wants to play ball. Let's have a look, ladies and gentlemen. You and I will find out together.
And good as gold, Wally. Mate, we're up for it. I feel like it's part of the course these days, mate. Might talk about it if we've got to do 7 in a row, but...
Good simple 101 pass there.
Drove around the outside, mate.
From Bewley over Matt Clark. Matt Clark, obviously, nothing to fight.
And
Bewley
Costas
with, so allowed him pass. So, yes, which does put Costas out in front. Again.
Yeah, 28.2, so he was effectively the fastest through the lane out of all those boys as well. That car been pretty efficient since the start of this race. However, watch the gap crush as he cycles those tyres up. We saw the job that Bewley did on a hot tyre versus Matty Clark re-entering this race, and I don't think it's done. Still got just under 33 minutes to go. As a gambling man, I wouldn't say that these positions are going to remain the same. I reckon there's still plenty more in it. Marnie with a good performance. Davo obviously hasn't done anything wrong and just driven himself up to that P4. Nice healthy stop.
Yeah, and a short one, which adds up. And like you've been talking about, very efficient car on track, and obviously at the hands of Joseph Barney. Yeah, definitely nice and conservative. He makes a lot of ground up in the pit lane from one week to the next. So nice work, Joseph Barney.
Bewley looks super racy here, mate. It just really goes to show. I reckon he was not driving this thing at all in stint 1 to its full potential, because he is just super racy right now, mate. Fires it down the inside. Can Costas live there? Oh, he does. He defends so well. But Bewley hung in there, hung tough for turn 3.
Yeah, Costas didn't even contest it.
He did it 1-2, but there was nothing he could do about the right-hander. So the position swap, and this trio at the front, 1, 2, 3, Bewley, Macrolos and Matty Clark, all in it with just over half an hour to run on the final race of the series. Like we mentioned, Matty Clark's done enough to lift the trophy already, but man, he's been a big factor here tonight with the battles.
Definitely, without a doubt. Big snapper oversteer there from the Lamborghini. The hands of Costas Makalos.
Yeah, haven't seen a lot of that up to this point.
No, definitely not. Well, at least not there, but the cars look very solid. If anything, just a little bit of push on only just a couple of corners. I think he gets a little bit of push actually on that final corner. Surprisingly enough, because the thing's a jet in a straight line. And maybe a little bit at 3 here. So just chipping into 1 through this. Looks pretty simple just to watch on the TV. But yeah, very technical little group of corners there, because that sets you up for the tip in into 3 here. That right-hander and that short straight. And again, Clark. Oh,
just a snap over.
He's still wide, J-Man. He was still so very, very wide. Had to get out of it there.
You watch Clark's car down through the transition here. This is where I felt in stint 1 his strong suit was down here. The car just willing to change direction, and almost felt like there was a short shift in the middle there. The boys in front did a great job that time around. As Bewley gets it wrong. Catches the snap oversteer and hands the lead back to Costas Makalos. How quickly things will change.
Oh, no.
Just shows you how hard these guys are pushing. He had the race lead out there, looked to be in a good rhythm post pit stops, and all of a sudden just has to catch a little bit of snap oversteer, drives it off into the kitty litter and has to gather it back up. A lot of work left to do now, because these boys will be running at hectic pace at the front as he was just a moment ago. And that has cost him 4.1 seconds. That little moment cost him, and that is a lot to make up.
Yeah. And, God, I don't even want to say it. He looked like he had, he was all over that. But yeah, so that takes us back to what we've been probably watching all night so far, is the Makalos Clark show.
And he likes to float the car out to the left there. Just has a little lift mid corner, and then floats the car out. And then we saw him with a bit of snap oversteer here last time. This is where he passed Makalos in the opening stint. He was down there. It took a long time for him to get it done. So we're going to see some real racecraft here from both these drivers. Once again, we know how good Costas defends, and Matt will throw everything past the kitchen sink at trying to put a pass on. No 50-50s. These guys are so much better than that. Night, Wally. Have a good one, mate. Cheers for the watch. Get a bit late for the old boy, Davo. He's got to go for a snooze.
Had a big day yesterday. Big day out at Road America.
Yeah, did a great job. What did he end up? P19 or 31? Something, was it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, great job. Oh, this is a big run from Matt. Has a big look down to the inside. Makes Costas just doesn't phase him.
Nah.
Still makes the apex, just backs himself. He's got trust in Matt Clark behind him to know that if it's not enough overlap, he's still going to turn in. Matt knows it. Costas knows it as well.
Yeah, look, and the Lamborghinis, it isn't only a jet in a straight line. It stops. It stops and tips in so well.
God, I love that, Sue. You know I'm a data guy, and I love the pickup there. 143.386 a piece for Makalos and Clark last lap through. That is fantastic.
It does look like they're attached by a rope. So, no surprise they just got the same one. But, yeah, no, awesome stuff from the boys. Doing a stellar job. As you can see, in the background there, that's Nathan Bewley after a little error was actually in front of those two only a few laps ago. Now back. We'll be going back to third position provisionally. Joseph Money in fourth. PD in the background. Actually, not too far behind Joseph Money, too, mind you. In fifth position, Steve Costin in sixth. Isaac Ichikawa after drive-through penalty for speeding in pit lane. Tough gig. And Robbie Mitchell rounding out 8th. Here tonight, even after some techie issues, back on board, and we love that. Robbie Mitchell, never back down, never stay down, my friend. You're a legend. Oh no!
Got his timing wrong. He looked floated out the thing. This is going to play Bewley right back into the sweet spot. Here he comes.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh.
It was just a timing thing. We'd seen Matt open the steering up so many times before, looked to go to the outside. He had such a good run that time and just didn't calculate the closing margin there and just grabbed the back of the Lamborghini. And I tell you what, the compounding interest for that is that Costas Macrolos is going to have a superheated rear left tyre. It just needs to be careful through the rest of this lap there. A, they'll be hot. B, they'll be dirty. And still got pressure from Matt, because Matt would have sent the apologies out and obviously did the readdress thing. And 5.8 seconds up the road now is Nathan Bewley. He wouldn't have believed his luck when he saw that. That is Marnie.
Wow.
Marnie's got sights on these guys too.
Ah, yeah. Look, that is just crazy. That is crazy. I mean, the big snap oversteer from Bewley, which we didn't see coming. The guy's driven faultlessly all night, J-Man, which cost him the lead just there about 5 minutes ago. And then that, who would have thought Costas, Matt Clark and Costas coming together? But look, I'm sure Clarkey will be giving himself an uppercut, J-Man, after that one.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with it, but I think nothing malicious in it. It was just a timing thing.
Definitely not.
We'd seen how strong he was, and he was going to the outside there, and I sort of was going to say something at this point of the racetrack here, how good a run Matt got the lap before. It just let him change direction so much easier than previously. You can see that's what he was trying to do.
He gets on the throttle. He gets on the throttle a lot earlier, and he does it here, and this is what caused the issue before here. So they chip in, and we saw Matt pick the throttle up. He just did it right there again. But just underestimated how close they were. Slightest a tag on the back of the Lamborghini, and Costas was around. Well, both of them were off track, so not ideal. What has that given us? That has given, well, it's given Nathan Bewley the lead back, and it's given us a race for the next 20 minutes, J-Man, to be honest, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, and yeah, you're a good man, Isaac, putting a wife ahead of all the fun things, mate. You're a top bloke, and look, you raced fantastically out there. Unfortunate about the stop go, but we will see you again, no doubt, again next season, if not up here, out on track. So well done on the season, mate. The performances you've put on when you have been here have been fantastic. As we see, Matt Clark now is going to size up and inside. I still favour the outside line down here from Macrolos. It's a little quicker. Oh, he gives it up. Watch the drive here.
I was holding my breath there because and look at the cover from Clark.
Macrolos is going to hold it shallow here.
It would not surprise me if these guys come together again before the end of this race, J-Man. I'm just saying.
Mac deep under brakes at 1. And this is just extending Bewley's lead. Don't forget about Nathan Bewley. Obviously got that opportunity. He had it, lost it, got an opportunity to go back. And look at that, 6.2 seconds. I don't reckon there's a hope in hell that these guys are going to catch him now. He made that mistake. He'll be better for it now. He won't make that twice. That's how good these guys are. And these guys are going to go at it for the minors, second and third. And where is Marnie?
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, look, you've got to give it to Macrolos here. Like, he is doing a stunning job of leading this little battle here. I'm sure he has been to this the John McDonald School of
Defensive driving.
Defensive driving.
Yeah. Stingy bastard. Yeah.
Harder to pass than a kidney stone.
Big move.
Big move, J-Man.
But he gets it done. He just put it up on the curb there. Just held it down at the apex, did Matty Clark this time. But, and cost us a round.
Unforced error for Macrolos. That is not ideal.
And there goes Joseph Marnie. Cue the podium for Jose. Can he hang on to that for the next 19 3/4 minutes? Oh, so much hard work just been undone in the last 5 minutes. From Bewley first, and then Matty Clark, and now Macrolos. Mistakes are plenty. The only guy out of that top 3 right now that I see has made a mistake is Joseph Marnie.
And it was only a couple of minutes ago you said, look, well, where is Marnie? And we're like, well, he's sort of not far behind him, but the guys were racing so quick. Well. Marnie now in 3rd position. Is Marnie going to be in the post-race interviews on the final round here at Barcelona? I don't want to put the mocker on him yet, J-Man. Just saying.
No, don't do that. Speaking of which, I was wanting to have a little look there because there's something I picked up on earlier today, and Joseph Marnie was on equal points with Gunther Rowe, 224 points apiece.
Gunther not here.
He got there by default by Gunther not being here. Nathan Bewley 243 and cost us 250. Matty Clark 351, hence why we've already called it. The engravers, I suspect, have already done their job there.
I think so.
But for me,
checks in the mail.
For Joseph Marnie, just to move that spot up as well. Pete Dawson, 188 points. It'll be this round that he clears Harry Lawrence. And depending on what points are on offer here, maybe even gets that top 5 from Gunther Rowe. So we'll see what that looks like maybe off season. You and I will digress about that. However,
maybe I might be in the Bahamas.
You bloody wish, my friend. I'd be right with you if you were. Anywho, like I said, Joseph Marnie just puts himself in these positions there, and he's obviously had the opportunity, but just don't count out 2.6 seconds back.
2.6 seconds.
Cost us Macrolos, right? And he's got pace. So if we compare the last lap time, 44.1 for Marnie, 43.4.
Really? Is that only 2? What did you say? The gap between Marnie and it's pretty close, isn't it?
No, 100%.
Less than 3. It's less than 3. But Marnie,
with around
what
10
have we
laps
got?
to run.
How many?
10 laps.
10 laps. Okay, Joseph, knuckle down, mate. You got this.
Yeah. He's had a pretty fantastic race there, Teagles. And he's found himself out in the front again. What is the margin now? 5.3. Matty Clark. I don't reckon Matty Clark's given up on this. You know how this guy races. He races forward. He can see it.
No, he's if there is a position, if he is not on top, you know he's going to chase the top spot every night, J-Man. So, watch that space. Steve Crossan currently running in 6th, just tucked in behind PD, and we can just see a quick pan of the cameras there. You can actually see the 2 boys there in the same camera. Costas Macrolos and just out of the final corner and out onto the start-finish straight. Yes, that is Joseph Marnie. You can see right there.
I tell you what, Matty Clark hasn't given up. Bewley just ran a 43.48 versus Matty Clark's 42.72. So he has not given up by any stretch at this point. 4.9 is the margin. It was 6.2.
Yeah, we're going to race in our hands. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, he's doing the math. Of course he's doing the math, and he's probably commentating it on Twitch too as well, Sue. We know the deal.
Always.
We know the deal.
We know it.
Matty the multitasker. As this battle forms as well, Joseph Marnie got a job to do. Next 15 and a quarter minutes. He's got to hang on. He's got to eyes forward, bank his best laps here. There's a podium on offer for the final round. Can he hold out? Costas Macrolos. Marnie improved his time last that round. He was in the low 44s before that. Back to the 43.8s. No read on Macrolos's. Maybe a slight track limits there. That didn't give me a read. But you can see the gap there now. It is 2 seconds. One thing in Marnie's favour is I think he is driving that car super solid. Haven't seen any mistakes. Not to say he hasn't made any. We certainly haven't seen him make any. And if he just keeps driving it straight, mate, Costas overdrive this thing.
Yep.
We saw him have an unforced behind Matty Clark in the final sector too long ago. Maybe. Yeah. That's like universal code for sure he is. 43.290 that time for Bury. 42.9 once again, so he buys himself another 3/10. It's just hovering around that 4.8 to 5 seconds. Down to 4.7 at this part of the racetrack. As it bottlenecks and it spreads back out, it'll go back out to that 5.1. Just got to keep the pressure on. Make him think about it. Give us a battle, lads, at the back end. How's Crossland tracking? He is caught up to the back once again of Dawson. I hate to say it, but mate, it's part of the deal. If Davo and J-Man are here, we're going to pan the action. And whether we curse you or not, we're going to give you the time of day. And Crossland probably deserves it, Davo, because he's really had a gritty drive. You know, he's been there or thereabouts, made some passes, unforced errors, and had to do it all over again. He's back there again on the MATCHFIT Ferrari.
Yeah, car's clearly quick. You know, we see this week in, week out with the SimBlacks. 43 Aston. Cossie's hooked up in it. I mean, the car's quick at the hands of Crossland. But we have seen mistakes, J-Man. Hence, Crossland now chasing PD for 5th position. So yeah, tough season once again for Crossland in the official SimBlacks number 43 Aston Martin. Thank you, SimBlacks. Thank you for being on board again here in 2026 with Rainlight Racing and being on board with MATCHFIT Entertainment too. On a few of our projects. Thank you, step up. J-Man.
It's inevitable. I just think the Aston's just got a little bit too much pace, and he's just starting to look over under at the moment. And I don't know how much Pete's got to fight with, because the back of the Ferrari just looks a little bit nervous at the moment. As Crossy just pulled out there, he just misgave. Judged it a little bit.
He did himself a mischief there. Showing the nose on the inside to PD, and then PD just probably getting on to the brake pedal a little bit earlier than Crossy thought he was. Had to duck to the other side. A little bit of evasive action possibly there from Crossland. So yeah, nice work from Pete Dawson.
I'll tell you what I've been watching as well. So Matt Clark from behind the steering wheels, he just drifts it out of that corner. That would not do the lap time any favours. It's just the number of points on this racetrack that he turns up, and in particular as he exits turn 3 heading up to 4, he would have been just seeing that the gap was crushing, but a bit untidy at the back end of that lap, seen it blow right back out to 5.6, and he had it down to 4.1, so that's going to be a shabby lap time, and it is. It's a 44.3 versus Burley. No read on that time, so I'm not sure why we don't get a pickup. Maybe it's just a point of the racetrack that they just use a little bit too much and the data doesn't pick up, so I don't get a read on that. But 5.5 seconds of margin, so Marnie doing a stellar job, Davo.
Yeah, he's got it out to, he's keeping it at about 3.5 seconds at the moment, so nice work.
Yeah, 2.4, 2.5. And it's just static. It's just static there at the moment. He's just holding station. He's just doing what he needs to. Obviously, better last that round as well, 43.3. He was, by my calculation of the recorded times, the fastest car on circuit at the moment.
Yes.
Was Joseph Marnie.
So 5-second plus gap back from Bewley is now Matt Clark and Joseph Marnie. Another 4 odd seconds, or maybe a little bit less behind. Oh, hang on, what have we got there? Yes, 5. Yeah, 5+ seconds back to Clark now.
Crossing through on Dawson.
And then about another 10 back to the boys line. Let's see if we can pick up on said replay or said pass by Crossland on. Here it is there. Little bit of a snaggy exit out of the hairpin there for PD. Lost some pace, caught wide through the kink, and that does you no favours there into the left-hander there. He did, and again, we saw this earlier with Costas and Matty Clark there, where the guys on making the pass held a little bit shallow on the entry into the left-hander there, and they quite often run wide and make themselves vulnerable again. And we did just see that from the 43 car. The Sim Blacks Aston Martin. So, but PD pass down a position now on Steve Crossland back in 6th.
But more gains there for Costas Makalos at the moment. It's got that back down, headed down to 1.8, sitting at 2 seconds at the moment. The clock is ticking though. We're at lap 47 of a predicted 52.
Yeah, only a few more laps yet. So what have we got? 8 minutes? Oh, 4 or 5 laps.
Also, Matty Clark with a good surge back at the moment as well. We thought that maybe that couple of mistakes at the back end of the previous lap before might have just taken the sting out of the tail, but I tell you what, he's coming on strong. The margin's now 4.3 seconds. I'll be interested to know that difference. So Bewley just through for a 43.5 and Matty Clark goes through for a 42.6, so 9/10 of a second just in that one lap. You talk about 4 or 5 laps left to go. If you can keep doing that, he's on his bumper at the finish line for sure.
Yep. And Clark, I mean, just look at the time there, J-Man, compared to his fastest time in the race. It is literally a couple of hundredths of a second.
Oh, there's
slower.
nothing in it.
There's nothing in it, so can't tell me he's not trying. Here, with only 6 or so, 7 minutes to go. So, but Bewley, I think he just needs to relax. I can't see Clark chasing that gap down over the next 3 or 4 laps, or what? Let's do the calculations.
Yeah, it's 4. It's 4.
It is 4. I thought so.
Yeah.
Joseph Marnie, on the other hand, will.
Doing a good job.
Well, he needs to stay focused here, J-Man. Makalos very hungry to maybe regain a podium position there, and what better reason for a fight than a podium position. So Makalos will be on the hunt for Joseph Marnie's position there as this race winds down here. Final round here for Rainlight Racing's 2026 LMU Series 12, I think it is, ladies and gentlemen. So awesome work from the Rainlight Racing guys. Again, putting on a great show. Maybe a little bit short on numbers though here tonight, David. Yes.
Yeah, another 6.5 tenths gain that lap there from Matty Clark. Sees it at 3.6 seconds now. So he's still pushing very, very hard. And it would only take the smallest mistake for Bewley, for Matty to be there. And I'll tell you what, it's tightening up as well between those two. And also Marnie now, I think he's only got a slender, what has he got? 1.7 seconds now to Macrolos. A little wriggle for Jose as well, coming through 4. Just going to crush it down a bit more, 1.2 as they tip it in there, but Macrolos looks quite wide. Yeah. Good stuff from the guys out there tonight. Obviously 90-minute schedule for this one. You're going to see us do around 52 odd laps. And for the most part, it's been pretty action-packed. Certainly from the front, 3 or 4 trading, mistakes creeping in, back end of the season. I wouldn't say it's been a long season, but yeah, they're certainly in tune with their equipment and yeah, plenty to play for. Okay, so Bewley, that time 43.5, plays a 43.1, so another 4 tenths. Sees it sitting static at 3.1. It's just a measured gap. You can see now he knows that he's only got a couple more in this thing.
Yeah, because Clark needs more than tenths.
Yeah.
Obviously.
He needs big chunks. He needs a mistake. Macrolos really crushing the gap now. 0.9 as they tip through 1 and 2 now, heading up to 3. It's around that 1.2 at the moment. So
yeah,
close to second. It's going to be tight.
This will be the second last lap too, I suspect, J-Man. Obviously.
Yep.
So he's just got to stay focused here. Clearly Macrolos is hungry, but he really does need to just keep the eyes forward.
Matty Clark lights the sectors up. Sector 1, Davo. Magenta Sector 1.
Very
fastest
nice.
Sector 1 of the race. Does it late in the piece. There's a big push. 2.7's the margin. He is pushing super hard.
And just look at Bewley's energy too. I mean, the guy's got just, even pushing hard, still got so much in reserve in that car. So nice work from Bewley there. Oh, what an up and down race we've seen between the 3, Bewley, Clark and Macrolos.
It's going to be 2 more to go, mate, because you look at this, 2:34 and counting down. They're doing 1:43s. We've got 2 more laps. This is exactly what Matt Clark wants to see. It'll be this one and 1 more, which he's going to see. Oh, it's impressive. It is very impressive because it is now 2.5 seconds. It's not good news for Joseph Marnie. However, he's still holding strong with that 1 second gap. What else we got out there?
Yeah, that's where the race is really, I think, is Marnie and Macrolos rather than Bewley and Clark. I definitely think Bewley's got Clark's measure here, but Marnie, on the other hand, has got a lot to play for here. That is a podium position he's sitting in there at the moment, and he really does need, like I keep saying, just to focus. Don't look at the data too much and the deltas, and just focus on your lines and hit your marks. So big pull for Marnie here. Crossland bringing it home in 5th position. PD in 6th, and a big shout out to Robbie Mitchell after some technical errors very early in the race. I think it was only lap 2 or 3 there.
Yep.
You know, just get back on the horse, get back in the race. You know, I mean, what else would you do on a Monday night if not jump in the car and have a race? So nice work, Robbie Mitchell, holding our 7th position.
So Bewley heading towards the final turn with 1 more to go. He's got a slender 2.1 second margin over Matty Clark, and that'll be enough because we've seen the swings have consistently been anywhere from 5 to 7, maybe even 9 tenths, but not 2.1 seconds. So it's a valiant effort from Matt, but it's just going to be a step too far. However, can Jose one more lap, 4.6 kilometres more? Can he hang on? We know that Lambo's a jet in a straight line, and we can see him starting to tuck up underneath the wing, close that margin down now. We can see it 0.4, and he's been so good into turn 1 as Macrolos. He is right there.
Joseph's don't just rip the mirror off. Don't look at the flashing pink car behind you.
Yeah, turn it off. Hit your lines. Do everything you need to do right. Place the car exactly where you need to. There's nothing wrong with running a little wide there because it'll give him rights to the left-hander down here at turn 5. Don't run it wide here. Don't give him an opportunity for the inside. And he gets a nice drive, and Macrolos really sideways off of there. That could be
armfuls of opposite lock there from Macrolos there as we just were watching him in car and literally had the arms crossed up there. And look at just the recovery from it as well. And straight back up onto the back of Joseph Marnie there. Nathan Bewley running down into the final couple of corners here. And we applaud this man. He has stuck it out. He's been up and back down and then back up. And here he is, coming across the line. Final race of the season. Lucky backwards into the across the start-finish line. Fronacostas Macrolos, well done. Steve Crossland rounding the final corner as well for 5th position. PD won't be too far behind, ladies and gentlemen, in 6th. And someone we were just giving a little airtime to only moments before all of that malarkey went down is Robbie Mitchell. Good on you, Robbie Mitchell. 100%, mate. Good work. And PD just in front in 6th position. Wow. Well. That race had it all. Very, very short field of drivers, but action-packed throughout. I must say, I'm a little surprised with very little cars on track tonight. These guys definitely delivered. They put on a show for us, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we better start asking them how their race is.
Yeah, so first cab off the rank is Jose. We get Jose one more time in the comms box at the back end of the season. Put on a show. Jose, you got us on comms?
Yes, I do.
Mate, you'd certainly were in the right spot at the right time, but, mate, earned it at the back end. Had Costas coming at you hard, and you held your nerve, mate. How's the heart rate?
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. Macrolos was definitely catching me. Honestly, based off pace and things for qualifying, was not expecting this at all. So this is a very pleasant surprise for the end of the season.
Yeah, look, the car looked good in the opening stint as far as energy usage. It looked quite efficient, and you were one of the earlier stoppers versus the field, and it certainly played back in. Obviously, a little bit of luck there with those boys that, like I mentioned, you had to earn it at the back end, and did that. So was that part of the plan for the first one? Just maybe nice and easy and make a bit of energy on having an efficient pit stop?
Yeah, look, it definitely developed over the race. So I was able to keep up with Crossy for a lot longer than I thought, honestly, based on my pace in qualifying and practice. So, yeah, took the opportunity to fuel save a little bit. Thought that I might just save a little bit of time in the pits, but great. And then I was chasing Bewley and Isaac pitted early. Look, unfortunate for him, I saw that he did get a drive-through, so mustn't have pulled it up the line or something. But I thought to myself, the car felt great about half an hour in, and I know I can see the tyre wearing off. So I thought, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. I'm sitting in a position even higher than I thought I'd be. I'll change tyres, and it might give me an advantage at the end. And yeah, obviously that paid off for me because, on a normal day, on a track like this, I don't think I'd have the pace on Macrolos or anyone like that. But obviously those tyres, that offset definitely helped.
Yeah, hey, look, man, the performance throughout the season, Jose, obviously this isn't the first time we've had you down on the comms block. It's just, the sim racing for yourself is just growing strength to strength. I think 2026 certainly started off to be a good year for you, and long may it last, because, the performances, and we know you've got great support there with Maddie and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
team and that as well. But it does look good, I think, every time that we've had a chat, and we certainly see plenty of you out on track, and certainly one to never be counted out now
Mm.
of a podium performance. And yeah, mate, applaud the performance tonight and for the season. Obviously provisional, but based on the numbers I saw, you were coming in this one level pegging with Gunter Rowe on 224 points. Obviously absent
Yes,
tonight
yeah.
was Gunter, but nonetheless, a podium performance was probably always going to do it. So I guess that's a congratulations on P4 in the series.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I did notice that coming in. It's yeah, it's good. That's really exciting to see some, it feels like growth and getting a bit quick and feeling good in the car. So yeah, no, it's exciting.
Yeah, no, awesome stuff, mate. And look, as per usual here at MatchFit, mate, nice little opportunity now if you want to give your friends, family, or sponsors a shout out. Jose, the floor is
Yeah,
yours.
yeah, definitely the family. They love seeing the updates and hearing how it's going, and the boys are very excited hearing that I'm getting podiums and things this season, which is exciting. So that's, yeah, definitely the fam, but also Matt, obviously do a lot of driving with him and training, and he shows me what I'm doing wrong and helps me where he can. So he's a great teammate and friend. So good to see him. Looks like he's, I think, going into it was winning this season fairly early anyway, but yeah, no, he's awesome, well deserving. So yeah, very good.
Well said, Joseph Marnie. Thank you, my friend, and look forward to catching up again soon, no doubt. But fantastic performance, mate.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate what you guys do too. Thanks heaps.
You're welcome. So there you go, Davo. That is Jose there from P3. Fantastic performance. And next cab off the rank is going to be, well, I'm going to do a little bit role reversal. Okay, I'm going to grab the race winner down here, and I've got a reason for that.
You're
okay,
freaking me out, J-Man. What's going on?
Yeah, no. I'm just there's a theory behind everything. Nathan Bewley is the race winner. Nathan, you got us on comms?
Hey fellas, how's it going?
Well, mate, it's going bloody great. But I tell you what, you gave us a bit of everything, and that you've scared us at one point, and then you got to drive back through it. Look, you didn't need a second chance after that, mate. You drove beautifully. But talk to us about that moment, and then obviously the opportunity after the fact when you with the two boys went at it, and you got some fresh air again.
Yeah, so the moment up at turn 9, I'm pretty sure, I think I just tried to open it up just a bit more than what I'd done like in practice, qualifying, and then any other lap, and it literally just, I think I either turned it in from the curb or literally on the grass, and it wasn't having it.
Yeah, I wondered
just
whether you picked up a bit inside curb, because it had an awkward bounce that sent you to the outside really awkwardly when I looked at it, compared to any other lap that you'd done, Nathan.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it was because we'd literally I'd passed the boys, obviously because my tyres had warmed up at that. The tyres that two tyres that I changed at that point had warmed up, and they were still obviously trying to warm them up. So I took my opportunity to get past them, and it wasn't really like gapping them too much. But then obviously trying to like extend that gap, just that little piece. And like I said, trying to extend the track and make it as wide as I can to try and get a better exit out of the other corner. And it literally didn't go too well. I survived though, that's the main thing.
So two tyres. Talk to us a little bit about that for the viewers at home as well. So you opted for a 2-tyre stop, was it?
Yeah, so the 2 tyres, it was literally because I literally had done no practice during the week.
Yep.
And literally, well, this is my first time, I think, racing at Bahrain since ACC, and I think that might have even been and that was before I joined Rainlight and so that probably would have been offline against the AI and that used to have the old sector 3 with the chicane, so I've never driven this layout before, so yeah, and it just looked like especially through turn 3, the left sides were just, the front was just getting murdered. I think it was 60 odd percent or something by the time I came in, and I always thought I'll put it halfway and then decide whether I'm going to do either tyres or no, and it was literally looking at that, it's going to be in the low 30s or something, and it was I'll just change those two and see how it goes. And it seems like the other boys, in the chat just then. It sounded like a lot of them did the same as well, changed their 2 tyres, the 2 lefts as well.
Yeah, wow. Wow, okay, so I didn't see that coming, but it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, they are the loaded size, a lot of pressure on those tyres, especially with the absence of the final chicane, as you mentioned, Nathan. You know, that really does lend themselves to getting superheated out of the final turn, and then they get a little break down to turn 1 and then load it up again. Very much right-hand corners being the flavour here, but hey, look, well done, mate. I'm analysing the points as we look. Obviously, everything's provisional for us because we don't have the thing, but you came into that out of P3, 243.7 short of the marker of Macrolos. I don't know what that means based on his finishing position in 4th, how close that looks, but I'm sure it's tight, and I don't know if you've crunched the numbers, but I'm going to congratulate you anyway on a fantastic season. You may have done enough you're certainly on the podium for the season, right? So,
Oh, I think so, but yeah, thanks boys. Yeah, but you know me, I come here for fun and all that, and I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter just say if I'm 2nd or 3rd in that, because I think realistically it'd either be 3rd or 4th, because you know we had Harry who had a really good start of the season, and he's obviously had other commitments with soccer, so you know he would have finished ahead of me. So no matter what, you know, it's 3rd or 4th, and to me it doesn't matter. You know, I'm here for fun and all that at the end of the day.
yeah, nice work, mate. And hey, look, it wouldn't be match fit if we didn't give you the opportunity, mate, to thank your friends, family, or sponsors, or whoever it might be, Nathan. And thank you for the season, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. So the floor's yours.
Yeah, thanks boys. Yeah, just, you know, the normal family, friends, obviously you guys, you know, awesome job with the streams and all that, you know, they're always good to watch back, and, you know, obviously like I always say, if I ever get the opportunity to be here, watching the streams back, you know, you literally see stuff that you never see because you're focused on your race. You know, behind you there might be battles in front of you, and yeah, the drivers and all that turned up, whether it's tonight or throughout the season, you know, because they're the ones that make it. You know, if they weren't turning up, what's the point of me turning up? I'd be a one-man show, and you guys would have to be commentary on one person. So yeah, and then yeah, that's about it. And yeah, hopefully next season will be better. Hopefully we can have some extra numbers and all that, and yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Agree. Not a wiser word spoken. Well done, Nathan Bewley, and well done to your season, my friend. It was absolutely fantastic and put on a hell of a show. Shorter field tonight, but man, you guys really amped up the action for us down here in the booth. So well done, mate. Talk again soon.
Thanks, boys. See you next season.
Sounds good. There you go. That is Nathan Bewley, race winner in the final race. And the reason I have grabbed P2 down is obviously he is the champion elect, and I just needed him to give him a minute to recover from what was nearly a big faux pas across the finish line at the end of that race. Got a little bit mad Mike spec and nearly binned it before actually did bin it before the finish line, but managed to cross facing the wrong way. Matty Clark, welcome to the booth.
Hello. I thought I'd have a little bit of fun and try to drift the last 3 corners.
Yes. I did see that. It's actually, there was a little bit of that going on about 5 laps out that actually probably cost you a little bit.
Yeah, it did. No, those ones a bit earlier weren't intentional, and I do think that was probably the difference between maybe having a crack at Bewley on the last lap or not, unfortunately. But yeah, hell of a race. Unreal battle with Costa. That was, to be honest, the most fun I've had all season. I was just having the time of my life with that fight.
You and us both, mate. And look, you know, you can be forgiven at turn 3 there, mate, because it was clear to see that, you know, like I was about to call it live, that you got an awesome transition out of 2 heading up to 3.
Yeah.
And it just allowed you a little wider than you were conventionally. And we'd seen you lap after lap, opening the steering up, coming out of 3 there, running to the outside, looking for that opportunity up at 4 to run down to 5 on the inside. Macrolos did a beautiful job up to that point defending it, and I just think, you know, we were talking live about the miscalculation of the run that you actually had that lap, and just ever so slightly wiped the rear bumper, and it inevitably cost you, I think, you know, a race win potentially at that point. You know, could have, would have, should have, but hey, what we were treated to was a fantastic performance. So I want to take you back a little bit, Matty, to the start of the race. Obviously, that it was not a conventional start. It felt like you wanted
No.
a bit of TV time and wanted to show us what you could do. Was that the call? Come on, man.
There may have been. Okay, all right. I'll be honest. Yes, there may have been an aspect of maybe I get a bad start here and we see what happens.
Yeah, well, you put on a show for us because of it. So that was the first part. The second part of that is, really burning up the energy tucked in behind there, trying to put the moves on. And then by the time you got to Macrolos, there was about a 3% difference.
Yes.
And we did see you pull it back a little bit. You sort of bit of lift and coast down to 1. We saw a little bit of short shifting out of Worth down the bottom of the hill, turn 6, 7. Heading up to 8. I thought there was, I really feel like there was a little bit of a, whether that's just the way the car was just so happy to transition and change direction, but was there a little bit of short shifting there at that phase as well?
Short shifting doesn't do anything to save VE. So if you ever see me short shifting, it's purely for traction purposes and like comfort in the car. Because with VE, this is something I didn't realize earlier in the season until I actually went and learnt my stuff. VE is entirely based on your throttle input. It's nothing to do with the fuel burn. So in terms of short shifting, it achieves nothing because you're still fully on the throttle. So the VE burn is exactly like the VE drain is exactly the same. You will save fuel, but generally, unless you were running lean on fuel and wanted to make it back, it's not really going to achieve much. In terms of lifting and coasting, yeah, I noticed after like the first lap or two that I was already 1% down on Bewley and that, and so I was trying to lift and coast a bit, but I also wanted to like get involved, so I was never going to just sit there because I figured I had the pace to put up a fight regardless. And so then made the call, and it turned out Costa made the same call to change the left side tires at pits because I realized he had about like 3 to 4% or like 2.5 to 4%, somewhere in that range, and he might jump me in the pits. I think I had enough gap actually coming into the pits that it would have probably evened out because to my understanding 1% is about 4/10. But had already made the call to change the tires, but then he did too. That completely evened out, and that's where he ended up about a second ahead. I think after the stop shook out because I ended up getting caught with Bewley, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, and I think certainly driving style and setup tonight probably leant towards a tough night on the VE for you in that respect, because we certainly saw out of campus, so come down the bottom of the hill into Worth and then head up to turn 7, 8 there. We just seen that the throttle pickup that you could get on that back straight through the mid part of the 3/4 way path through the lap. You were on the gas a little earlier. Even out of the final turn, we could see the throttle trace just coming on. You could hear the tone of the car versus either the Lexus in front of you or the Lamborghini, that you were just getting to the throttle earlier. So obviously that the net product of that is obviously you're increasing your throttle zone for longer, which is going to burn up more. So however, the car was super fast in your hands. So very impressive stuff to watch, and it leads towards why we're at this point now. You are championship elect for the series. Obviously didn't really even need to turn up. You and I had a good chat a week or so ago, and look, we're happy you did, because you really between yourself, Macrolos, Bewley, and in the end Jose Marnie as well, making the podium was just for such a small field would have
Costa there.
Oh, hey, look, it is what it is. That's racing. We all know that there was nothing malicious or intentional there, so it's just part of the racing. But what a fantastic final performance from all of you out on track, including Robbie Mitchell going out there and setting a blistering time out there on his own, just cutting hot laps, and he did a fantastic job.
A shame that he had the dropout, because he had really good pace, and he was like concerned about it through the week. And I like offered to help him out a bit, and we sat in Discord the other night, and I like tried to help out where I could, and I like his pace had really come along. Even like before I got there, he was saying, I've found a fair bit of confidence compared to where I was the other day when I was having a bit of a sook in Discord. His words, not mine. A little bit of paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. And so seeing him have really, really good pace in quali and then be right at the front, obviously got past me with my quote unquote bad start. It was a real shame to hear him go, oh, I've had a crash. That was quite disappointing, but yeah, he had looked really good. Onwards and upwards for him next season. I think he's been looking better and better.
I think the whole field, like I said before in a previous stream, we've watched you guys grow. I felt like the broadcast team is growing with you. You know, there's a bunch of personalities out there now that we can certainly gel with, and great bunch of lads. The respect out there is amazing. It's real community feel about it.
Yep.
You know, guys do a fantastic job. The racing is super fierce, and so getting back to it, Matty, congratulations on a P2 tonight, but more importantly on the series, taking that one out in really emphatic style. Having done it before even turning up to this final round is impressive stuff, and we'll give you the opportunity, mate, as we do everybody at this point of time, to thank your sponsors. And if you haven't got any sponsors, get behind this guy, mate, but the floor is yours.
I will give a shout out to you guys and to Enter Rainlight, because both the platform that Rainlight give for us to go racing is pretty unbelievable. The stark difference, and Joseph and I talk about this all the time privately, between racing in daily race lobbies and coming racing in Rainlight is it's night and day. And so the community and the quality of racing that they've cultivated is just massive. It makes most other racing quite disappointing, which is a little bit of a double-edged sword. But in terms of what they've made, what they've cultivated, I can't say enough about it. And you fellas, the work you do, both for Rainlight, but also just in general, is great. I always love tuning in. I don't necessarily stay around as long when it's not. I did the other night, but I don't necessarily hang around as long when it's not a Rainlight race. But that's just usually because I've got other stuff I'm doing in my night. But the quality of broadcast that you put on and the amount of effort that you put in is huge. And I love it. I look forward to watching the race back every single week. And I always love coming to have a chat with you guys. You're just two lovely blokes. Really
thanks,
appreciate
mate.
it. And no, that's
Matty, you're making me blush, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're making... Davo's blushing in the corner there, but it's a pretty easy thing to turn up and do when we have guys like yourself, and then performances like we just saw tonight. And look, that's one of many that we've paid witness to throughout the many races and series that we've broadcast here at Rainlight Racing. And I got to agree with you totally. I think the cultivation and the community spirit and the camaraderie out there, I know, and I think I said it straight away live when that incident happened between yourself and Costas, that wouldn't be dwelled on. It'll be, sorry mate, play on. You guys having a massive amount of respect for each other, and sometimes it's a byproduct of racing that hard and that long. You guys have been, Davo quoted actually something during the race about how long you guys had been going at it, and it was I think it was a good 50 minutes or something, wasn't it, Davo?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think it would have been most of the race to the end. Had he not had the spin, once I got past, I think it maybe was a bit done for without me making any more mistakes. But yeah, I was very conscious of the fact that it had been going on for a long time. I honestly, at one point, I thought we were about to have a 5-way fight, because we were dropping back towards Isaac and Nathan, and they were fighting, which was bringing Jose back into it. I saw that they were maybe 2 seconds back from us, and
we were hoping
1 second each. So was I. I was hoping it kept happening, but then we punched in a few good laps and kind of pulled back away, I think.
Nah, awesome stuff, Matty. Well done, my friend. And thank you, Mum, too. So much support from Sue throughout the series, and for us, it actually means a massive amount, doesn't it, Davo? You know, like we build this thing on a community-based structure. You know, we need support. That's how we exist. We exist on the numbers, the support that we get, and we've had a plenty here, and long may it last as well. So well done, Maddie Clark, on the series
Thanks, fellas.
title, mate, and no doubt we'll be
She's,
talking again soon.
She's very keen to take you fellas up on the offer of hopping in the box at some point. By the way. I get a
well, she's
message
very,
every
very
other
good
week.
on the numbers. She's very good on the numbers, Sue. So we may
on
have
the
to look
data.
into that in the future. Yeah, she's yeah.
We'll get,
She,
maybe get her people to talk to our people, and
I feel like I'm her people.
yeah. You are her people.
Whatever it takes,
But,
whatever it takes, mate.
Nah, awesome. Well, we'll let Davo pay some bills, Maddie, and thanks, mate.
No
We'll talk
worries.
again very soon, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, fellas. Have a good one.
Cheers. There you go. Champion-elect Maddie Clark takes out the season there, and Davo, that's a wrap. I guess we got to pay homage to the people that support us and what have you. So I'll let you do your good work, and I'll sign out. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in throughout the series, and we'll be back soon.
We will. Thank you, J-Man. And yes, let's thank, obviously, Rainlight Racing for putting, and the boys, some of them that we just talked to there, for putting on a show for us on a Monday night here at MATCHFIT Entertainment with their 2026 LMU Season 12. That was the final round at Barcelona, round 10. And we were just talking to Maddie Clark, wrapping up the series commandingly, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. We're also going to thank SIMRACING for being on board in 2026 once again with Rainlight Racing. Like MATCHFIT Entertainment, we're back. We're looking after you guys as well. But SIMRACING obviously always on board with the Rainlight boys. And the giveaway for the drivers are up for here at the end of the season. I think they give this away. I think it's next week or maybe tomorrow. Yes, it'll be announced in their Discord. Either way, but they spin the wheel. One of the boys is going to win this. And what is it? It is an awesome set of Sim Magic P500 pedals or an equivalent valued voucher. Awesome stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We are very proud to support Rainlight Racing again in 2026. MATCHFIT Entertainment streaming 4 nights a week, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you heard that right, 4 nights a week. Rainlight Racing kicking things off on a Monday night, but plenty throughout the week. So remember to subscribe and hit your notifications, because we got a lot going on and you guys have got to keep up. So remember, like, subscribe, notifications, catch up with us tomorrow night, and then maybe the next night and the next night for what we got on offer. One more thing, just grab your phone out just quickly. One more thing, ladies and gentlemen, before I go. This is for you guys, not for me. Scan that QR code. Grab your phone out, scan that QR code. You too could win that bit of kit there right in front of you, and you too could be racing in Rainlight Racing's Season 13. That's right. Who knows? It's the Get a Sim competition, proudly sponsored by GAMAFLARE, MATCHFIT Entertainment. SIMRACING on board, Mozzo on board, Supercars NZ on board, whole bunch of people on board. Awesome stuff. Free sign up. Get your phone out, scan that QR code, jump all over it. I think that's it from Dave. Congratulations to Maddie Clark for taking out the series. Thank you, Rainlight Racing. Thank you, everybody involved. And bye for now.